Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, today I want to talk about love in this video. The reason to talk about love is because the whole world is moving with the idea of love and saying that love is the answer, love is the solution. Is it though? Is love the solution? If love is the solution, why there is so much hatred growing in the world? Why there's a non-stop violence? Why the war is continuing in the world? If love is the solution, why people have a hard time to grasp the idea of love towards them and towards other? Why this idea is failing? Let me tell you why the idea of love is failing is because love is the byproduct of the truth, but not the truth itself. And the whole world is copying the byproduct and missing out the truth of who we are, the unchanging truth. And moving with the byproduct comes with agenda, isn't it? Our love comes with agenda. There's no unconditional love right now. That unconditional love itself is, full of agenda. Unconditional love is when you see the truth. The truth itself is unconditional love because the truth is without the layers, you without the mind, without the ego. And when the truth is missing, the love we call is simply an ego's play. Look, right now, you think you have the love for the world, love for the people. But if you really investigate why you have this love for the world, for the people, you will see the deeper, unseen layers. You have deeper meaning to move with love. And let me tell you, what is that meaning? That meaning is the fear of getting hurt. You know that when you love, when you move with love, the world pulsates in the same way. For example, if I be the service of love to others, others will flow in the same way towards me, isn't it? If you move with hatred and violence, the people will act in the same way. And you know the difference between the violence and love. And love is more powerful than the hatred and violence. So for that reason, we are moving with love, and the love will keep us safe. But the idea is safe is already coming from the place of fear. Safe is not true. So there's a turmoil suppressed down in us with the idea of love. If you reflect in your life, you ask yourself why love is important, or why am I moving with love? If you inquiry on the act that you represent with love, you start to see the wave of mind coming together. And if you go through this journey, then you understand that, love is the byproduct. Love is this, is the fear. Basically, the ultimate fear is a fear of death. Because of the death, we act with love. Definitely, no doubt. Look, we are emotional human beings. We are, taught with love from our childhood. We were nourished with love. And when we are nourished with love, that love, the act of love is there in us as a conditioning. We are grown in that environment. The environment, condition us. And we are moving with love, thinking love is the answer, love is the solution, love will make the world a better place to live. Isn't it? We are, that human being, conditioned human being. So, our love is coming from the place of, conditioned world. And the mind itself is conditioned as well. The love, the idea of love is, short of boundary in the world to do a little better. Better is better than violence. Love has that momentary solution. That's why we keep doing it, thinking the world will change one day and accept the love. And again, love, is a boundary in the world because mind is crazy. The world is the mind, isn't it? Mind is crazy. Depending on the craziness, that mind accept love and reject love, depending on the situation. When the situation is intense, do you think the love will solve the solution? Do you think love will make Putin drop the war? Not just the Putin, but there's, other wars happening in the world. Can they be dropped from the act of love, with the language of love? Look, there was a world war. Before World War, there was a, war before that. Wars. Then there's a Second World War. People are understanding that war is not the solution, love is the solution from the war itself. The love is coming from the war. And now, after the Second World War, now bits and pieces of the war is still around the world, and the whole world is on the edge, and people are putting this idea of love in the world, and people don't accept the love. Why? Because the ego is so freaking crazy, stubborn. When the mind is crazy, when the ego is so stubborn, the love won't be accepted. Again, depend on the scenario, the situation. The love can be accepted or rejected, especially when the intense situation is there. It's very hard to drop the violence, drop the war, drop the hatred towards others. Just look at yourself and how many times you have lost control, how many times you have lost the idea of love. Even you know that love is the answer, love is the solution. The heated situation, you forgot love, isn't it? Because of simply the ego is so powerful. Ego rejects love. Why this love idea is not working, again, is because the truth is missing. Again, we must realize that love is the byproduct of the truth, not the truth itself. Every human being in the world need to realize the truth to drop the war. Not just the bigger war, but the war within ourselves. There's so much conflict. There's so much violence within ourselves. There's no solution for the inner war. And we have to be part of the world. The inner war becomes the outer war. Because who we are in the inside will be projected outside. So the issue is within. Even there's a chaos in the world, we see the chaos, the idea comes in, and idea becomes the inner chaos. And seeking for the solution outside is not gonna solve the inner turmoil, inner conflict, fear. There's no solution on the outside. The solution is, in the inside, as who we are, not as the mind, but without the mind. And if you can see who we are without the mind, then that is the first true love, by accepting who we are. Because that truth is going to dissolve the mental conflict in us. And then whatever we do outside comes with, simple ego. Still an ego, but comes with a healthy ego. And love is a healthy ego, by the way. So, to make the world a better place, people need to, wake up. Waking up is the most important journey. And this is the journey that has been neglected by the world. Look, that's the situation. And if you start to wake up by giving priority to this journey, it takes a little time. We have to go through the, little struggle, because it's about dissolving the identification, false identification, and our whole life has been that identification, and dissolving who we are is tough. See? Dissolving who we are tough itself is not accepting who we are, isn't it? That itself is the against love, against loving oneself. So we don't know how to love ourselves. How can we love the world? Because we are holding the identification right now, moving with the identification, thinking it's true. And because of that, the turmoil is continuing within. So, if you're saying love is the solution, change that idea to truth is the solution. Love is the byproduct of the truth. So truth is the solution for oneself and towards the world. And if we can now start doing this process, start being part of this process, then things go, will, be better. Our generation has to do the work on recognizing the truth. The old generation won't do it. And if we can do this, make this better, the next generation that comes from us, we can already plant a good seed in them. This, the seed about the truth. And that way the world can change a little better and better. But if we are fucked up, the next generation fucked up. Not just the World War II, 3, 4, 5, it will continue. And, the next generation that comes forth, lives with scar, which is the mental and emotional scar, and those scar leads to further chaos, further conflict. So conflict will never end. So to end the conflict, or to reduce the conflict in a way that to avoid the violence in the world, inward journey is the most important journey. That's the at least solution for oneself. Don't think a solution for the world, but solution for yourself. And again, if the solution is taken seriously by the individual, what's the world going to be like? So, the love, the peace, the happiness in the world depends on us. So, that's that, guys. Love is not the solution. Love is not the answer. Truth is the answer. Remember, love is the byproduct. If you're living with the byproduct, your love comes with agenda. Love is happening from the place of fear of getting hurt, isn't it? Reflect. Look at yourself. Inquiry. Be part of the self-inquiry. Why do I think love is the answer? Okay, yeah, that's the inquiry you can really work on. Ask yourself, why do I think love is the answer? And trace your mind backward. When you ask, why do I think love is the answer? You are putting out the love. Now, you should have the answer, no doubt. Because you are acting with love. And you should know why you're acting with love. So ask and figure out why do I think love is the answer? Whatever answer comes in, follow that answer by asking why is that important. And keep adding why no matter what answer comes in, and that's the way to go all the way back to no mind. Okay? Before you get to the no mind, you'll figure out the ingrained belief in you for moving with love, and your ingrained belief needs to be dismantled all the way until nothing is left, and you ask yourself, who am I? And don't answer that with saying that I am love. You are not love. Love is the meaning. So if you say you are love, then you're biased. No, not unbiased, but your bias in your dismantling work. Be thorough in dismantling the work, and then ask, who am I? And who am I is a make or break point where you can see the truth, or you can still linger in the idea of love. Anyway, hope this video makes sense to some extent. I know I'm little crazy, you might think, because I am speaking against love, but I'm not. I'm just pointing out love is not the answer, and in that sense you might feel defensive. And if you are defensive on what I'm saying, great, because at least if you are defensive, that means that itself is the ego self coming out as a defensive. That means also you're forgetting. See how fast you're forgetting love? You're acting with love before. Now I say something and you become defensive. Where's the love, right? It's good to see that you're defensive. It's good that you're resisting this, because when you see your defensiveness, resisting, that means the layers in you has resurfaced. Then we can really work on those layers, why I'm acting in such a way. But you can do that, or today we're talking about love. You ask yourself, why do I think love is important? Why? And follow it, figure out the root, and dismantle the root all the way. Again, thanks for watching this video. Take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye.